Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai, Shemar Kakwadash. And I want to say Shalom to Aknagwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. I don't necessarily have a title for this one yet. It'll probably be something similar along the lines as the Elderman Natazatba has here. As we can see, we're over on his page, which, in case you didn't know it, it's GMS South Carolina 08. Excellent brother. If you happen to be watching this, hey, bro, Shalom. How about Shemiao Shah Brakathum to you and the brother out there. And I saw this, I was watching this today, begrudgingly, because there's nothing wrong with the brother or his teaching. Of course, it's the videos that you got to sit through, and it's the man. A lot of them been rough. A lot of them been rough lately, man. You just want to reach to the screen and slap some of these people, right? I mean, you know, you're not gonna see all the ones watched here because, like I said, a lot of times I'm watching my lessons on my phone. Because I have YouTube Premium on my non-Bible account. You know, I wouldn't get it on my Bible account. If they ban it, then, you know, that's money wasted. But, and then, you know, with YouTube Premium, it's better because you can set up a queue, like set up 3 or 4 or 5 different lessons, and I usually watch like an hour or so of or hour or more of lessons. While I'm putting it together a lesson, I kind of listen to in the background, and, you know, I'll have them there. So, you know, I've watched a good chunk of these, not all of them. But yeah, some of these are hard, man, to watch. I remember this one actually. I haven't watched this video, but I watched the live camp that it came from, and you know that guy was hard to listen to. You know, I think I made a little talked about this guy a little bit. You know, the God is a black woman, just you know, and it pisses you off. There's more in here. I can't. You know, this one, the Pepe Le Pew bitch. All right, that one was annoying and prideful. You know, so who else do we have? You know, a lot of these people in here, you know, the lessons are great lessons. There's nothing wrong with the brother. It's the you know, it's hard to watch the openings because you have to listen to these dummies speak. You know, or Earth is hell, Adam and Eve are clones. I didn't even see that one. Oh my God. But some of these are like, I see them, I'm like, I don't know if I can even stand to hear that dude talk, right? So I'm like, I might have to, you know, just watch a little part of it. There's some of them I've watched a little part of it, and I have to skip and get to where the brother's talking because I'm like, man, it makes your blood boil, all right, hearing these people, you know. Why I don't engage in Hebrew Israelites. This guy was fucking pathetic. All right, that was response. Hebrew Israelites, I'm really brokenhearted about over Esau, and I hated the way these guys all talk the same, right? They all talk the same. I guess his name's Jim Green. They'll talk like this. Like they're trying to be inspiring. All right, you have guys like this, why I'm no longer a Hebrew Israelite. It's just, man, you know, these guys are, you know, debunking the Hebrew Israelites. That guy's face looks familiar, but I haven't seen the video, but, you know, and then now this fucking bitch, you know, we'll see. Sorry. I cussed. Ridiculous. And that's what it's about, all right? It's titled Response Hebrew Israelites, Why Y'all Cussing? Hashtag harsh language, and it's from Yah Ministry 305. Well, why is it Yah Ministry 305? First of all, Yah ain't the name, all right? That's part of it, all right? It's Yahweh, okay? Yahweh. You can't just say the first. What's your name? You know, what's your name? Jeanette? What's up, Jeh? What's up, Jeh? How you doing, Jeh? All right? Yeah, you don't like that very much, do you? All right? Say the full name, Yahweh. It's not no Yah. Stop with that fucking shit, man. Oh, Yah. Who's Yah? Use his full name or don't. If my name's over here named Larry and you say La, yo, La. If I'm in a crowd, you think if my name's Larry, I'm gonna look around and try to, maybe if you're being loud and obnoxious, I might look, but I know my name ain't La. It's Larry, not just La. Or if my name's Dave, duh. No, use the full name, man. It's not Yah, it's Yahweh. It's Yahweh. You Yah Israelites are bugged the fuck out, man. Over here, just and that's the thing with the Yah Israelite. The one thing I've noticed about them is they're very superficial, fucking cartoon ass Israelites, man. They're like, they like that superficial feeling of feeling like they're so godly and holy and wearing the white robes and we love Yah. You know, dancing around, waving the streamers and shit. You remember that video? It's ridiculous. All right? You want the feeling of being holy without being holy at all. All right? You want the appearance of being holy without being holy at all. That's what you want, you Yah Israelites. And you can't even get the name right, man. Can't even get the name right. Yah. It's ridiculous. There's no power in the name Yah. It's Yahweh. Gee. All right, anyway, rant over. But we're going to listen to this moron speak. Yeah, I said moron because I'm, you know, yeah, you're catching heat. You're catching flack right now because we've been seeing a bunch of you dumbasses for far too long. It's ridiculous, man. Get the fuck away. You don't like it? Well, I was hearing. If you don't like the swearing, fuck off. Get away. Go. You don't have to listen to it. All right? No one's holding you and sitting you down like this is fucking Get Out. All right? Your eyes peeled open and forcing you to look at a screen. You can leave. Go. Get away. Turn the lesson off. Matter of fact, don't watch any of our videos ever. Stop watching them. All right? If even one of us swears, just stop. Don't watch us because it obviously is not for you because you're getting too upset about everything. And are you even wearing clothes? Are you wearing clothes? I'm curious because I can't even see in this. It looks like you're naked to me. Are you sitting here making a video while you're naked as hell? All right? Because you could be wearing a particularly low-fitting tube top or something maybe in this. But I don't see no straps. I don't see no shirt. I don't see nothing. Are you butt-ass naked making that video? It's ridiculous, man. That's one thing I just realized. I didn't even think about this whole time. Are you butt-ass naked in this video? Ridiculous. I don't even know, man. And you look Hamitic, too. So you might not even be... I mean, you probably are an Israelite because you have an idea of it, but... I don't know, man. Anyway, let's listen to this fool speak. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play it. Here you go.
My Hebrew Israelite.
I'm actually going to pause this. All right, here you go.
My Hebrew Israelites, the people who have come into the truth of Yahusha. Y'all come on in. I got a question. Don't mind my big head.
So she has Yah, and then she says Yahusha, and then she says another name.
Cussing.
Here.
My Hebrew Israelites, the people who have come into the truth of Yahusha. Y'all come on in. I got a question. Don't mind my big head. But why y'all cussing? Why are y'all cussing? How? And this is one of the issues I had with Christians, right? How can you hear from the Ruach HaKodesh?
Ruach HaKodesh. Man, she butchered that. Let's hear that one again.
How can you hear from the Ruach HaKodesh?
The Ruach HaKodesh. The Ruach HaKodesh. The Ruach HaKodesh. What's the Ruach HaKodesh? Are you talking about the Rakakwadosh? Man, you don't even... If you can't pronounce it, don't even say it. Don't even say it. Stop it. All right, go learn it. All right, because it's embarrassing as hell. Okay? If you hear it, you know, you have these people... Salawam. It's Shalawam. All right? Barakatha. It's Barak Atha. Barak Atha. If you can't pronounce it, go and learn it and then speak. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It really is. Right? Stop. The Ruach HaKodesh. What is that? Jeez, the small hats have it closer than that. All right? Oh, my God. Anyway, continuing on. You just took the name of the Lord in vain. His name ain't God. There's another thing we'll be talking about. Here you go.
How can you say that you are representative of Yahusha? How can you...
Okay, so right here in the name, Yah Ministry, or Yah Missionary, Slakia, Yah Missionary 305, so Yah. And then she says, what does she say over here?
And this is one of my Hebrew Israelites, the people who have come into the truth of Yahusha.
Okay, so we have Yah in her screen name. Now we have her saying Yahusha. Now, what's this other one she's saying now? I've never heard that one before.
Your mouth is... How can you hear from the Ruach HaKodesh? How can you say that you are representative of Yahusha?
Yahushu? Who is... I've never even heard that before. And I've been watching these videos for a little bit, right? And I'm not going to boast about how long or anything like that because I'm still a baby in this truth. But in the years that I've been in this, I've never heard Yahushu or Yahushu. What is this?
Can you say that you are representative of Yahusha?
Yahusha? Oh, Yahusha. I've never heard that, ever. I've never heard of that. Choose a name. Yahusha, or Yahusha, or whatever you said in the first part. I'm confused, man. It's making my mind hurt how many names that you've already had out here. Which one is it? I'm confused. All right, we ain't gonna hear us using a bunch of names. It's Yahweh, the Father, Yahweh Shai, the Son. Yahweh, the Father, Yahweh Shai, the Son. That's it. All these crazy names these people are using, man. Why can't... I know why you can't get it, but boy, is it frustrating. All right? Anyway, and this shows you, your mind's all jumbled up and mixed up. You don't even have the real name. The Lord's not even really dealing with you, right?
How can you say that you are in the truth, but your mouth is foul, is nasty? Out of the...
Well, here's the question for you. What makes it vile? What makes it nasty? So let's take some notes. Vile and nasty words. Okay, well, we'll keep that, all right? Vile and nasty words. We'll put that there. Okay, so you're saying they're vile and they're nasty. Okay, we'll look into those words. All right, they're vile and nasty. Well, okay, let's continue back.
Vile is nasty. Out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth speaks. You cussing. You saying MFs. I was just listening to a podcast. And this dude, great teacher, good teacher, teaching the word. And he started dropping F-bombs. And I'm like, I had to cut it off. I had to cut it off.
And you see in the eyes, you bugged out. All right, ain't got nothing there. All right, and like the elder mentioned, there's shit on her lip, hella distracting.
If I want to hear worldly stuff, I will turn on a worldly channel.
All right, and she's saying motherfucker or swearing is worldly. Okay, so we'll note that.
Huh? If I want to hear nasty, Americanized, Babylonian tongue, I will turn on the world.
All right. Babylonianized. All right, we'll just say Americanized tongue. All right. Nope. I'm taking notes.
Why y'all cussing? How you cussing? How? Somebody answer me. Why you cussing?
All right, and we will. So let's play it one more time, all again.
My Hebrew Israelites, the people who have come into the truth of Yahusha, y'all come on the room. I got a question. Don't mind my big head. But why y'all cussing? Why are y'all cussing? How? And this is one of the issues I had with Christians, right? How can you hear from the Ruach HaKodesh? How can you say that you are representative of Yahusha? How can you say that you are in the truth, but your mouth is foul, is nasty? Out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth speaks. You cussing. You saying MFs. I was just listening to a podcast. And this dude, great teacher, good teacher, teaching the word. And he started dropping F-bombs. And I'm like, I had to cut it off. I had to cut it off. If I want to hear worldly stuff, I will turn on a worldly channel. Huh? If I want to hear nasty, Americanized, Babylonian tongue, I will turn on the world. Why y'all cussing? How you cussing? How? Somebody answer me. Why you cussing?
All right. So you heard her and all of her infinite lack of wisdom. We'll get this. This is a comment from Yahweh 1. It's 2 Corinthians 11:6. It says, "But though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things." And I like this one. This is Joyce Falcon. It says, "Eve is always running her damn mouth." And it's true. That's all it is Eve's always running her mouth, man. Can't shut up. Cannot shut up. All right. Always has to be heard, even when she's wrong. Right here, Yawasop, Hopeful Elect 777 says, "I let out the biggest sigh when she butchered the names of the Holy Spirit and the Messiah." It's true. Two different names for the Messiah. and or however they're supposed to be aligned. I don't know with all that. Like I said, I've never heard Yahweh before. I don't even know what that is. Is that supposed to be representative of the Father or the Son? I have no idea. I don't care to know either, because it's bugged out. But yeah, another ostrich is a 13. A hopeful elect 71 says another ostrich, absolutely no wisdom or understanding. GMS KC Prophet says, why are you bald? Damn, that's good. But yeah, and then GMS North Carolina 777 actually put up the definition of curse. Why you cursing? Why you cursing? Or cursing or cussing, right? Which is cussing, I believe, is just short for curse. All right, just like slang. I could be wrong. It says late Old English, curse, a prayer that evil or harm befall one, a consignment of a person to an evil fate. And that's another thing that they don't understand, that you can actually put curses on people as well. For example, Elijah did it. All right. So Elijah and the bears. All right, we'll talk about that. So why are we cussing? Because we can. All right. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not going off. All right. It's not a sin. Okay. It's not. We can cuss. All right. We can say shit, damn, cunt, motherfucker, piss, damn, ass, titty. All right. Pussy, dick. All right. We can say all those different words that we want. All right. Because they're not going off. All right. There's nowhere in the Bible that says, thou shalt not say the word ass or shit or damn. All right. Or piss. All right. It doesn't say that. So stop trying to insert that into there. Now, you said earlier, that you had an issue. This is the reason I had an issue with the Christians. Why? You're just like them. Why do you have an issue with the Christians? You seem like you are a Christian, except you just like to use the names of Yahushua, Yah, and Yahweh. All right? That's the only difference. You can go over there among them and still just use those names privately within your head. All right? Because you'll fit them more than being in this Hebrew Israelite ministry. Okay? Because you don't make any sense. All right, what you're speaking, it's not scriptural. It's not scriptural. You don't have no wisdom or understanding at all. Okay, and I got a bunch of scriptures here, all right, that we're gonna go through and talk about. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm gonna get Proverbs 3 and 5. This is one that's been heavy lately. Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. Okay, now this is a problem that all of us have gone through at times. Like I said, I'm not guiltless of it. All right, I've leaned into my own understanding before, and it's something you got to correct. But this is what's happening with these Christians. But they're doing it in a more nefarious reason than us. Okay, because they're doing it for a motive. Okay, they're doing it for a motive. All right, there might be something, you lean into your understanding because, you weren't really thinking in the right way that you should have been. And then there's leaning into your understanding because you want it to be so. All right, you want it to be that you're right. All right, you're trying to change scripture, change doctrine, and mess with things. All right, and bend things. All right, and on top of that, when you see or hear something, oh wow, that to me that feels, well, you need to stop and examine it. Is that how you feel? Or is that, do you not like this because it goes against scripture and Yahweh Shemau Shai? Or do you not like it because of your own understanding that you have of it? All right, and this whole not saying swear words or cuss words or curse words that's your own, that's a manly understanding. All right, that's a doctrine that men teach. It's not something biblical. That's a doctrine of men. They say that that's wrong. They're leaning on understanding. They say, oh, it's right here. Vile and nasty words. All right, now, what does vile mean? We're gonna go. All right, we're gonna get the etymology. All right, let's get the word vile. Okay, vile means morally repugnant. Now, what does repugnant mean? Okay, repugnant. Okay, repugnant, hostile, opposed, contrary, inconsistent, contradictory. Right. So, vile, morally repugnant, morally hostile, morally inconsistent. All right, it says morally flawed, corrupt, or wicked. Okay, so you're saying they're vile words. So you're saying they're wicked, right? Well, what is wicked? Wicked means what? And we know you hate it when we do the, oh, look, they're hopping through the etymology, they're hopping through a dictionary to try to prove their point. Look, they're hot. Well, that's how you prove things. Okay, prove all things. Get that. This is 1 Thessalonians 5 and 21. Prove all things. hold fast that which is good. So yes, we know why you hate it, because you don't like it, because it cuts you, because you're being known as wrong. All right? But that's how you're supposed to do it. Now, wicked, because you're saying, oh, they're vile and filthy words. All right? Or vile and nasty words. All right? Well, let's get up nasty here before I forget. All right? But going back to vile, so vile goes back to wicked, of no value. All right? Of inferior quality. Okay? Now, that was original in the 1300s. Now, it changed, usually. Also, it could mean physically repulsive through filth or corruption. All right? And what is corruption? There's another word, because these are a lot of words we need to get. All right? All right? Corruption. All right? Corruption, all right, originally meant material things, especially dead bodies. Act of becoming putrid, dissolution, decay. Also of the soul, moral, spiritual contamination, depravity, and wickedness. So, corruption goes back to wickedness. Corrupt goes back to wicked, okay? Wicked, evil in a principle or practice, morally perverse, addicted to vice, extended from the earlier bad, wicked, all right? Of course, which goes back to, dealing with wickedness, all right, against the Lord. So that's what vile means, okay? It says from Anglo-French, vilain, all right, or vil, shameful, dishonorable, lowborn, cheap, ugly, or hideous, or from Latin, vilus, cheap, worthless, base, or common, okay? A word of uncertain origin. So you can see that's what vile means, all right? That's what vile means. So vile, all these different words go back to wicked. Nasty means dirty and unclean. All right, dirty, foul, filthy, unclean. All right, what is foul? All right, or you can write here. It says Barnhart suggests Old French nostre, or miserly, envious, malicious, spiteful, shortened form of villanastre. All right, which would be vile. All right, going back to vile. All right, which would mean wicked, infamous, bad, or from villain. All right. Villain, all right, which means dirty, indecent or obscene, okay, indecent or obscene. So yeah, and it changed, but that's what you're saying. So, but the real world, the real word is what you're saying, vile and nasty. You're saying they're wicked, and they're not wicked. They're not wicked. Goes back to being evil. They're not evil, okay? They're not evil. So, and that's what corrupt went back to, is wicked as well. So. There you go. So vile and nasty words. Vile and nasty words. All right? And that goes into leaning into your own understanding. You think they're vile. You think they're nasty. There's nothing physically that makes the word fuck, all right, any more worse than the word grass, all right, other than a human understanding. There's nothing that makes that word bad, all right? The concept of bad words, it's all subjective speaking, all right? It's just like the same thing. Certain words can be seen as bad. Certain words can be seen as fine. For example, you can call someone a moron, and that's, of course it'll offend that person, but it's not something that's, morally like wrong because you made fun of a specific type of people. All right, you just called someone a moron or an idiot, right? But you can't call somebody a retard because that's offensive. That's bad. All right, this is the thought process of men, mind you. Right? Oh, it's bad to say a retard because that's offensive. Well, why is that offensive? But moron is not, and idiot is not. Those were the original diagnoses for people, for people that were mentally handicapped. All right, people that were slow. All right, they were originally called, ma'am, your son is moronic, unfortunately. All right, if you go and look up that word, moron, origin. Right here, early 20th century as a medical term denoting an adult with a low IQ. All right, there you go. So it was a medical term. Why can we still say moron, you moron, but we can't say retard? Right? Why is it okay to say words like, oh, that's dumb, but it's not okay to say dumb ass, because that's a swear word. That's a bad word. That's a nasty speech. All right? We can say, oh, you dope, but we can't say dip shit. All right? If we say dip shit, all right, then it's bad. All right? Why? Because that's your own understanding. The idea and concept of bad words in itself is a manly concept. It's not biblical. All right? You're going to go and get punished because you said the word fuck or you said the word shit. That's nowhere in the Bible. Now the Christians will try to put it in there, all right? And that again, this is one I want to get right here. This is Ecclesiasticus 3:24. This is from the Apocrypha. I don't know if you follow that or not over whatever camp that you're from over there, but Ecclesiasticus 3:24 says, "For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment." Right? So a lot of people are deceived by, their own vain opinion. They think that, it's vain means useless. It's a useless opinion. As a matter of fact, let's get this in the Bible Gateway. It's not going to pop up here, but it will. GNT. Right here, Bible Gateway. It says, "Many people have been misled by their own opinions. Their wrong ideas have warped their judgment." So you're not thinking correctly, all right? Your own ideas, all right? Your own wrong ideas. You think that it's a sin. You're making it like unto a sin, and it's not, right? So you're deceived by your own vain opinion. And vain means useless, all right? We can go and prove that, all right? Vain. Right here. Producing no result. Useless, futile, useless, pointless, worthless. Your worthless opinion. It doesn't mean anything. Your opinion makes no matter, because nowhere in the Bible does it say that you shouldn't say these words, right? Now, you say that you got away from those Christians, but you're still in that Christian mindset because Deuteronomy 4:2, this is one of the biggest things that these Christians do. Right here, Deuteronomy 4:2, it says, "Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your power, which I command you." And the Christians are guilty of both. They'll diminish it. They'll diminish from it. They won't talk about the captivity of Esau or the nations going into slavery. They won't tell you correctly that not all nations can be saved. They won't tell you about, the really horrible things that the Lord did. Every once in a while they will, but it's a lot of TED Talks, and it's mostly just spirit boosters that they do, dealing with the same chapters of the Bibles over and over and over and over and over again that they have down because they don't know anything outside of it. Go and ask them a question about something in Romans or Ezekiel. They won't be able to ask you those questions if it's something random because they're not trained. Yes, trained. They're not trained to be able to do it. All right? They don't know. They can't answer those questions. They only know what they practiced for. Okay? They only know what they practiced for. Here it is. If I trained and trained and trained and trained and trained to battle a pack of wolves, all right, and all of a sudden you throw a dragon at my ass, I'm going to have to wing it. And I'm probably going to get devoured. Because I didn't train to go up against a dragon. I trained to go up against wolves, okay? So when you have somebody that trains for these, 2 or 3 chapters, and then you throw a chapter at them that they're not trained in, they're going to pull something out of their ass, all right, randomly. Because, they don't want to completely give up, all right? Just like the case in the dragon, you don't want to just not try to fight. You're going to try to do something, right? But it ain't going to be, it's not going to be accurate or correct, all right? And that's what these Christians do, man. It's really easy to stump a Christian. All right, if you want to stump a Christian, read the Bible to him. If you want to piss a Christian off, read the Bible to him. All right, if you want a Christian to go away from you, keep on reading the Bible. They'll leave. All right, they can't stand it. All right, they act like they do, but no, they like their couple select verses. All right, like the slave Bible. They like their little verses, and then that's it. All right, and a lot of them aren't even liking that now. A lot of these conservatives are saying, "Oh, it's too the Lord's teaching were too liberal." All right, and they're weak. All right, so no, man, you're weak. You don't even know what power is, right? And that's what these Christians do. They add the word and say, "Oh, you can't swear and say bad words," and "Oh, a man can't have multiple women." Oh, and you can't have a sex with a woman. You have to get married first by us, and then you can have sex. And all these different things, and then, right, and then you're walking rightly, right? And they'll diminish all the other great things from the Bible, all right? Meanwhile, they add a bunch of their own worldly bullshit to it. That's what they do. They add their mindset, their opinions, what they think, right? And they take away the actual things that are good, right? So, and it also talks about if anyone shall add unto this under these scriptures, and I shall add all the curses in this book unto them. All right, roughly paraphrasing. So you're really destroying yourselves by doing that, right? Now here is Matthew 15:8-9. Now I really want to get this one in the Bible Gateway. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and read it in the King James here first. In verse 8 it says, "This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain They do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandment of men. It's like the commandments of men. And that's what they're doing. Really, they're not teaching the scriptures and the commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. They're teaching things that men said. Men said to do this. Men said to not do this. Men. Men, manly men. Right? That's who you're trusting in. Men. And there's a whole bunch of scriptures about trusting in man. All right? It's a stupid thing to do. So Matthew 15 and 8 and 9 in the Good News translation here, and I want to give them the NLT, but the Good News translation is here. It says, these people says Yahweh, honor me. These people says Yahweh, honor me with their words, but their heart is really far from me. It is no use for them to worship me because they teach human rules as though they were my laws. Bam! They teach human rules as though they were my laws. And that's what's going on here. You're teaching human rules as if they were the laws of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and they're not. And that's a wicked thing to do. All right? So think about that next time you say, oh, you shouldn't swear. God doesn't like that. What you just did was against the Lord. Okay? You're teaching human rules and saying that the Lord doesn't like something. That's a human rule. Those aren't his laws. Those aren't his ways. That's not what he said. He didn't say that. Stop putting words in the Lord's mouth. He never said that. So shut up. All right? And same verse here, Matthew 15 and 8 through 9 in the NLT, and I like this one a lot better. It says, these people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. Their worship is a farce. What's a farce? A farcity, right? Farce. Farcity, all right? It's a misspelling of farcial. All right, farce. Farce. Let's see. Absurd, all right? It's a mockery, right? It's not the first one. It's more, do they have an archaic version? But yeah, it's not the genre of farce, because that's dealing with, you know, a comic, a dramatic work, all right? Like a type of comedy. But no, absurdity. It's dealing with an absurd event. You know, a masquerade, a sham, a travesty, right? It's a mockery, okay? It says their worship is a mockery, all right? Their worship is a farce. For they teach man-made ideas as commandments from Yahweh. Boom, right? So, and that's what they're doing. They're teaching man-made things. Like, no, God wouldn't like that. God wouldn't like that. What would God think if you were doing that? Well, first of all, we don't worship God, which we worship a God. We worship the God, Yahweh. All right, but God, who? All right, there's many gods, many and lords, many. All right, we worship Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, the Father in the name of the Son. Okay, and that's the true Paleo Hebrew names. And in true Paleo Hebrew, the original Hebrew tongue. All right, the Lashawan Quadash, the Holy Tongue. All right, through the Rakakwadash, the Holy Spirit, the Spirit Holy. All right, literally it means the Spirit Holy. That's the name. Yahweh for the Father and Yahweh Shai for the Son. All right, there's plenty of lessons we've done breaking it down. You can go and get it. All right, it's non-debatable. Okay, those are the names. The Father is Yahweh, the Son is Yahweh Shai. The Father is Yahweh, the Son is Yahweh Shai. It's simple, man. It's easy. All right, if you have the truth, if you have the Rakakwadash, Spirit Holy dealing with you, okay, through Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, it's also what's the word? Not prevalent. Obvious, all right, if you have this truth, all right? It's not no Yeshua, or Yahweh. That's a new one that I have to remember now. That people are saying. Next time I hear it, I'm like, maybe they're in the same little thing. It's ridiculous, man. And you're teaching manly stuff as if it was something that Yahweh said, not to swear, not to say this word, you know, and they'll say, oh, you shouldn't swear. Well, swearing, that's not even really the correct word, because you're not supposed to swear. You're right, you're not supposed to swear. But swearing is something different, all right? You say, oh, I swear on this, I swear on that. That's swearing, all right? Saying shit is not swearing, all right? It's not even a curse. A curse is something that you put on someone, all right? You can call it filthy language, all right, if you want. It's not even filthy language, because filthy goes back to corrupt goes back to wicked, all right, and that wicked goes back to evil. So you can't even really say it that. You can say harsh language. That's what we call it. But that's it. All right. Cussing is just cussing. What does that word even come from? Cussing. Where does that word come from? It's another term for curse. Yeah, so cuss, curse. All right? So you can't even say cuss words because cuss is short for curse, right? So harsh language is really the only thing you can call it. All right? Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. You said that what about cursing? You can't curse. You can curse. All right? Elijah did it. All right? This is 2 Kings, right? 2 and 23 through 25. Elijah and the bear. And it says, and when he went up from thence unto Bethel, and as he was going up by the way, there came forth little children out of the city and mocked him, and said unto him, Go up, thou bald head, go up, thou bald head, making fun of him. And he turned back and looked on them and cursed them in the name of the Lord. And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood, and tare 42 children of them. There you go. And he went from thence to Mount Carmel, and from thence he returned to Samaria. So, well, he shouldn't have done that. Then, well, so you're saying the Lord's wrong because the Lord allowed those bears to come out. So the Lord was wrong for answering his prayer then, wasn't he? Right? Go ahead. Say it. Say the Lord was wrong. Go ahead. Just say it. I know you want to say it. Say the Lord was wrong. Say it. Say it. You fucking Christians. Say it. All right. Well, I don't. Just say it. Say the Lord was wrong because he allowed Jacob to get the blessing instead of Esau. Say he's wrong. Say he was wrong. Go ahead. Say it. Say it. We know you want to say it. Go ahead. Because that's all you say it in a roundabout way. All these different times, that's what you're doing. Right? You're saying the Lord's wrong. The Lord shouldn't have done that. That was wrong of the Lord. That was wicked of the Lord. That's what you're saying. All right? When you go and try, no, it's not. I'm just saying that, no, stop it. Just admit it. That's what you think. You think it was wicked that the Lord allowed it to happen. You think the Lord's wrong. You think the Lord's wicked. Stop. Full stop. That's what you say. That's what you think. That's what you think. Don't try to buy your way out of it now or lie your way out of it now. No, that's what you think. Right? That's what you think. This is Ephesians 4 and 29. And it says, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. Now, this is the big one that these Christians use. All right, I've had it used on me before on my comment board. All right, so you shouldn't say those words. You shouldn't say those words. Why? Why? Did the Lord say not to do it? No. Well, Ephesians 4 and 29, stop using it wrongly. All right, you're using it as you're leaning into your own understanding of this verse. It's not what it's talking about. Let's go and break it down in the original. All right, the original tongue. Let's go and break it down right here. Bam. All right, well, it's New Testament, so it's going to be in Greek. All right, so let's see. Corrupt communication. Corrupt is going to be G4550. Right, G4550. Sapros. Communication is going to be logos. Okay, G3056. Okay, corrupt communication. Corrupt communication. All right, let's see what corrupt means. Okay, corrupt, rotten, putrefied, corrupted by one and no longer fit for use, worn out, of poor quality, bad, unfit for use, worthless. Okay, and it goes back to this word, right? Well, right here, it really it says from G4595, rotten, worthless, literally or morally, bad, corrupt. It means worthless words. All right, you can go back here. This is what it goes back to make corrupt or destroy, to become corrupt, to putrefy, to be corrupted. Okay, so going back, worthless. All right, worthless. Okay, useless. Okay, of bad quality, unfit for use. All right, corrupt. All right, and corrupt also is it goes back. Deceitful speaking would be corrupt. Wicked speaking. All right, it's corrupt. All right, saying that the Lord is not, or arguing his name, that's corrupt. Okay, saying if you were to say that the name is not Yahushai but it's some other name, that would be corrupt. Okay, that would be corrupt communication, and communication, of course, means speech. Okay, corrupt speech. All right, so useless speech is what it really goes back to. Useless speech. So again, you leaned into your own understanding, and that's what you think that corrupt communication means, right? And you have this one as well, 1 Corinthians 15:33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. And it's not evil either, because evil goes back to wicked, and it's not wicked. Nowhere was it said that this language was wicked. Nowhere does it say that this language was wicked. Okay? So, a couple other words. You said, oh, if I wanted to hear that worldly stuff, all right, that Americanized tongue, right, I'd go and watch something else. Worldly. So saying the word shit is worldly? Saying the word shit is worldly. Well, isn't all language in general worldly? I mean, unless we're speaking in the Lashawan Kodash, the holy tongue, then saying hello, how are you is just as worldly as saying shit, damn, piss, cunt, and motherfucker, right? It's just as worldly because they're both Babylonian tongue. They're both Babylonian tongue, okay? That's what they are. And they're a mix of filthy languages anyway that are heathenish languages. All right, a mix of Spanish, all right, from Spain, Edomites, Greek, all right, with the Greeks, all right, which are Edomites, and then of course it has that's mostly what American English is made up from. All right, so that and a little bit of like French, right, but that's it, man. And French is a derivative of Latin, really. So it's really just Latin and Greek that a lot of the languages are made up of now. All right, but Hebrew is the true tongue. So if you didn't want to hear anything worldly, you'd better have to learn the Lashawan and the Lashawan Kodash, and watch lessons that they make in pure Lashawan Kodash, which I'm sure there might be a brother out there, but I don't see a whole lot of those. A lot of them, it's made in the language that we're speaking. All right, you have brothers down there in the islands, making lessons in patois. All right, you have brothers, in speaking in Spanish, making lessons. All right, you got sign language brothers doing lessons in sign language. All right, so those are all of the world languages. All right, unless you're speaking that Lashawan Kodash. So I don't know if I want to hear that worldly speech. I want to hear that worldly speech. Well, and it's funny because it's a contradiction, because what you said in itself was worldly. It was a worldly understanding, a worldly viewpoint that saying these bad words, as you would call them, you made them bad, all right, that they're, sinful or something. And that's not the case, right? And finally, we're going to close out with Ecclesiastes 7:16. And this just goes back to Christians trying to be over-righteous, all right? You want to sit in the room and hover, all right, and meditate. All right, that's what you want to do, and it's just you're being over-righteous, trying to say that you do well this and that, you can't do this and that, you can't do. No, you're being over-righteous, man. Stop doing that. Stop doing that and you're doing too much, man. Really. So Ecclesiastes 7:16 says, "Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldst thou destroy thyself?" Don't do it, man. Just look. Don't be too deep. Be one deep. Got a gnat over here, but yeah, man. So you're over here trying to make things wicked that aren't even wicked. You're trying to make things that aren't a sin into a sin. All right, and that's one, putting your ideas into the Bible. That's teaching man's ideologies as ideologies of the Lord, which is wicked in itself, and it's being over-righteous. You're doing too much. Stop it, man. So that's why we swear. That's why we swear. Why do you swear? That's why. That's why. All right, that's all you need. All right, and you probably won't like it. All right, you won't enjoy it. All right, but hey, you got your answer, man. So that's that. We're going to close out with that. Lord willing, it was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rakakwadash. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing, shalom.